overzealous as buyers.
Oh, because you're getting this new house, right?
I'm getting a new house, and
What you need in your new house?
I need some furniture. I need some new appliances because I don't like the ones they have. They have stainless steel. I want black stainless steel.
There you go.
Right? And I don't want to move in with that like that.
And my couch is all beat up at home,
Exactly.
so I can't move that in.
Yeah. So I decide that I need to go buy some furniture. And I'm going to open up that new credit account at the furniture company because
I'm getting this house. So.
And we gonna move in, and I want to move in with my stuff. I want it to come the same day we close. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get this financial stuff done.
Can you say tripped on the hurdle?
You face planted on the hurdle. Podcast.
Yes, sir.
I am Aaron Hingston.
I am John White, and we are the A-Team Realty Group.
Yep, we're about to get it done.
So, in our last episode, and by the way, if you have not gone back and seen the other episodes, you might want to go back and check all the rest of them out.
Check them out.
But hey, so in the last one, we met the family, right?
Yeah,
the family came in, they looked at the house, and they decided, oh, yeah, this is the house we want. The man cave's in the right place.
Yeah.
Kids got their own bedrooms. The backyard's big enough for the man to grill.
Yep.
Or the lady can grill, too.
Yeah, right. She got the bathroom she wanted. You know, the kitchen is, hold on. We're not talking about these gender roles, so don't throw us off. Don't throw us off the boat.
He wanted the kitchen.
He wanted the kitchen.
He
got the kitchen he wanted.
Yes.
And she got the office she wanted.
Yes.
She's a business mogul.
There you go. And so, now that they've got the home they want, there's some hurdles that they've run into.
Yeah,
right?
Man. Yeah. That's some stuff you're going to hit.
Because once you know that, hey, I like this one, I think this is the relationship we want to build.
Yeah.
Now we really got to be real with our intentions.
Right.
And it's time to put a ring on
What's
it,
the next thing? Yeah.
You got to put a ring on it.
You got to put some jewelry on that finger.
That's it. So when you go in and you start with the ring, that'll be your contract to purchase the home.
Right. So
and there's a lot of things that go in with the process of creating the contract, but then there's some things as you're going through the process of contracting the house that really might be some things that you got to pay attention to, that you got to look out for.
I mean, when just writing, just putting the whole thing together, you got to come in, you got to figure out, okay, how much am I willing to spend?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know that this is what they said.
Right.
And and based on what my budget is,
right?
Because when we're talking about buying rings, you know what I'm saying, you want to make sure.
Because they always tell you it's supposed to be 3 times your monthly salary.
Right. Who has saved that kind of cash to? Okay. Because you might want to, because as part of the process, right? You can't spend all of your money on just the ring.
That's
right?
Correct.
Because
That's
you
correct.
may have found the perfect house, but it may need some touch-ups.
Yes.
Or, you may not like the paint color. So there's some things over time that you need to make sure you put some money aside for.
So when you buy that ring, you still got to pay for a wedding, right?
Yeah, you still got some more stuff to do.
So you got some more expense coming, right?
The ring is just the beginning, because let the truth be told, that woman, that you're about to marry,
yes,
has been thinking about their wedding since she was this big, right?
That's it.
And so she has all of the paperwork set to the side. She got the dress she wants, got the venue she wants, got all of those kind of things. And so there's some more stuff that is going to hit your pocket as part of this process.
As you go through the process.
So that's why we negotiate up front, right? Because when we talk about real estate, we talk about, especially when you're talking about resale of a property.
Correct.
You make your money on the front end rather than on the back end.
Well, it's even on your new bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at the end of the day, if you're the first one to buy into a neighborhood,
yeah,
your value goes up as the neighborhood develops.
Right.
So, I mean, you still make your money when you buy.
Yeah.
You just get it when you sell.
You just get it when you sell, right?
Yes,
so you make the
exactly.
best decisions you can up front, and that's why you negotiate that deal, right?
Correct.
You
Correct.
negotiate it down so that you're not overpaying and doing it. You know, in the market we had previously,
Yes.
there was a lot of influx of a lot of cash buyers that really just raised the price of our kind of market to another level, right?
They brought it to unrealistic levels.
Unrealistic levels, right? And so rings cost a whole lot more than they were worth.
Every jeweler thinks they getting $50K over asking.
Right.
You know.
You go into a jeweler and say, you know what? I see the ticket price says this, but I'm gonna give you $50,000 more than that. That is crazy.
Yes.
But that's what was happening, right?
That's where we
That's
were.
what was happening. But now it's leveling out a bit.
It is starting to change.
And so now you can come back and you can negotiate that initial price. And so we come in with the family, right? We built this relationship.
Yes.
And now we're going to commit. We're committing. And so we look at that initial price and we say, okay, this is what we want to pay for it.
Yes.
Right.
Because you've done comps at this point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You've looked around.
You've looked and seen what other houses in the neighborhood cost.
Yeah,
You've looked
right.
at other relationships and
Right.
you like, well,
yeah.
I can see where this might be a little costly. I'm only willing to do this.
This is what I'm willing to do, right?
Yes.
Because you're looking at a long-term investment, right?
Correct.
We're not going to put a ring on something and look for divorce next month. That's not what we're doing.
That's
right?
not wise.
That
That's
is
not
not wise.
fiscally responsible. Yes.
Because what we want to do is we want to make sure, man, that when we say, "Will you marry me?" that we're all on the same page, moving towards the same goal, man.
Correct. For
And
better
this is
or for worse.
Yeah, exactly. Richer or poor.
Richer or poor, till death do us part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we try to do, man. And so, with that, in writing the contract, we have, this offer amount that we have to come forward with, right?
Correct.
Also, as part of there's other negotiations that happen within that contract.
That whole contract is a negotiation.
All of it is a negotiation.
Yes.
Everything is something that you can agree to or not agree to. Right?
Correct.
And so you just have to make sure that you partner with somebody in this dating game that understands this process.
Yes.
And has your best interest at heart.
They need to know where they have the ability to push and where they have where they don't.
Yeah.
And that's all going to be based on how bad you want the property.
Yeah. Right.
Right? I mean, and that's why people were paying, like we just mentioned a minute ago, that's why people were paying $50,000 over asking, because they wanted the property.
Yeah, they really wanted the property. And they had the available funds, right?
Yes.
To really be able to say, okay, I want it. And because I want it, I'm willing to give you more than what you asked for it.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so, those situations still happen. But even in this situation, we just have to make sure we're putting our best foot forward, right?
Yes.
And so we're going to buy the best ring we can. Because
we'll buy the best we can, and we'll save where we can.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're doing through that contract.
That's exactly it,
When
man.
we're telling who's gonna pay for title,
Right.
Who's gonna pay for a survey?
Yeah.
Am I getting money back at closing
Right.
from you? All those things are part of the contract that we have to work out so that you end up with the best deal.
And part of this process, man, is this is where you really begin to meet our homeboys.
This is
You know
where
what I'm
this is
saying?
where you meet our friends.
This is where you meet our friends.
Yes.
Because now you've already met our mortgage friend, right?
Yes.
Or you may even brought that person to the table, right?
Yes, that's true.
Because that may have been the bank you've been with for years, or you may have loaned somebody, right?
Or your mortgage person might have brought you to us.
Might have brought you to us because they may have referred you to us because of how we cook up, right?
Right.
And so this is where the friends start coming in and really begin to assist us, right?
Yes.
Because as part of this process, we have to have inspections. There's going to be appraisals. There's going to be, you may even have to have you got a title person that is handling the full process.
Correct.
And they come as experts in their own field.
In those particular fields.
To contribute to all of us crossing the line together, man.
Yes. To getting this thing done in a perfect fashion.
Yeah.
In a manner that meets every one of your needs.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's the important part of this relationship, is that your need is met.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, talking about the issues that come up.
Yep.
When you're looking at the first thing you'll do is come up to inspections.
Okay.
Right? Because
All
on the contract, there's a spot where you put in earnest money.
Okay.
There's an option period.
What is an earnest money, man?
Well, so earnest money is basically your down payment, your skin in the game to say, hey,
right.
I want this house bad.
Yeah,
I really want this house.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to put a portion of the purchase price down, send it to title so that you know, first of all, I got it.
Yeah, right. Right.
And then second of
Right.
all, that I'm serious about this house.
Yeah, we just put the ring on layaway, right?
Yeah, it was on layaway.
It's on layaway for now.
And then the further part of that layaway is your option.
Okay.
And in your option, there's a certain number of days that you can buy for a smaller portion of money.
Okay.
Right? But what those days get you is very important.
Okay.
Those are the days that you can do all of your inspections on the house.
Okay.
So you can have an inspector come out, he'll check your plumbing, he'll check your HVAC, he'll check your electrical, he'll check the roof, he'll check the foundation.
This is when you do that full background
this
check,
is
right?
when you're really looking at what you get.
Like you calling your people.
Yeah.
Because I need you to look at that police record, right? I need you to dig deep and find everything.
This when y'all go to the doctor's office and you sitting there listening to the doctor to see
to make sure ain't nothing really wrong.
he ain't got nothing really
There
wrong.
ain't nothing really wrong.
He ain't about to pass that on to my kids. Is
Right.
that contagious? Is that, does that pass? Is that hereditary?
Right.
I mean,
Is there a medicine for
Right.
that?
yeah. So you getting more information about this house.
Yeah, right.
That
right.
you about to.
How does it operate? How
Right.
does it breathe? How does it move? You know what I'm saying? All of those things you about to get.
You're about to get. The person that lived in it before knows what they leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
you don't know exactly what you're walking into.
Right. Because they've lived in it, man. They've experienced it. They know the little creaks and movements.
Exactly.
But you don't.
Right. Exactly.
And so that this expert is coming in to say, hey, I'm gonna contribute to y'all's relationship.
Correct.
I just want you to have all that information so that you can make an educated decision about how you want to move forward with this.
Move forward or not.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so, but sometimes, man, the hurdles that you run into is that, man, the roof needs to be replaced.
Yes.
There's
And that ain't cheap.
that ain't cheap. The
Yeah.
roof needs to be replaced, and you have an issue with AC, right?
Yes.
Those are two of your biggest things that you're gonna run into as hurdles as part of this process.
Correct.
That's why we just put the ring on layaway.
That's
Because
why you pay that little fee,
That
for
little deposit.
that layaway fee.
Yeah, right.
Just so you can make sure that, do I really want this?
Cause I may decide, you know what? When I really dig deep, I'm gonna run.
Yeah,
This ain't the one.
That's it.
And it doesn't matter how much we loved it. We don't want to be in a dysfunctional relationship.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
Not up front anyway.
Not if you can avoid it.
If you can avoid it, then that's something definitely. And you want to make sure that you partner with people who are going to tell you the truth.
Yes.
Who will say, you know what, hey, I see something. I see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And this is not necessarily what you really want to do on this one.
Right. And so so you go through your inspection.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you get to tell the owner or seller, hey, I want you to fix this.
Right.
I want you to make this right. I
Right.
want you to change the way that you do this.
You know what?
I
This is
want you-
almost like counseling, right?
Yeah.
We sit in the middle as a counselor, right? In this marital relationship.
Dr. Phil or somebody. Yeah.
Because we're negotiating back and forth or just trying to help everybody get to a happy medium about this.
Yes.
And like you
You're
said,
the mediator.
Yeah, the seller's mad though. 'Cause
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you telling me about myself?
Yeah, right.
I lived in this house for 20 years.
This house
is
was perfect.
for
Yep.
me and my family,
That's
right?
it.
But sometimes you have to bring up,
Right.
yeah, it was perfect, but you got a hole in the roof, cat.
Right. Ain't no insurance company finna insure that roof.
Exactly.
No matter how great it was for you,
It's not gonna work for me.
Going forward, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So
And
we need to figure out how we're gonna move forward on getting that thing replaced
Yeah.
or repaired.
Right. Right.
Depending on the level of damage.
And your counselor in the middle needs to be able to negotiate that, right?
Correct.
Needs to be able to, on your behalf, make sure that, hey, I just want you to see a clear picture at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know, and then it's up to you to make a decision, right? But I just want you to make sure that there's no surprises.
Your counselor's job is to put it on the table.
Yeah, man, put it all on the table.
Once it's on the table and you decide to go forward with it,
because you may decide that the leak in the laundry room is okay for you.
Right.
Right? That may not be a big problem. Or there may be I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, because just like every mate in a relationship, they all got problems.
Yeah. Ain't nobody coming to the thing completely
Ain't nobody
perfect,
coming
right?
perfect.
Yeah, right.
But there's some problems you can deal with.
Yeah. Right.
That you're willing to accept.
Yep.
For that particular person.
Yeah.
Now, for somebody else, that might be a deal breaker.
That might be a deal breaker.
That means you wasn't that into them.
Right.
That's
really.
what it means.
Exactly.
But if you really into this one,
right,
then you'll be like, yeah, I could take a little bit. I could help paint a couple of rooms.
Yeah,
If it needs a little paint, that's not a big deal. I
can patch a couple
I can put
things.
the time in.
Yeah.
And fix that myself.
Because we talked about it in a previous show, man, where sometimes we have to be that person that shows you, we talked about renovating the bathroom.
Yes.
Right? Everything else is perfect. The bathroom wasn't right. We maybe need to renovate the bathroom. Right? Yes. We're at this point to help you jump over that hurdle.
But what we're trying to make sure of is it's not just the bathroom is right and you got to renovate the rest of the house.
Right.
Because that's that's a little different.
Yeah, I mean the awesome thing, man, is depending on who you go to, what expert you use, they can actually look into the walls of the house.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Infrared, and they can see into the bones of the thing, man.
Yes.
And that's what you really want somebody to be able to do.
Yes.
So that you can really see the bones of how this thing is gonna work. And so once you kind of got over the inspection, right?
Yes.
You've moved through that inspection piece. Now, the next thing you say, okay, now my little deposit, I'm good with the little deposit. Now we're gonna go ahead and move forward, right?
Yes.
So now I pay another installment on my layaway plan, right? So now we're getting closer to this process, and there's some other things that come up now because you're gonna have a couple other things that happen. Title is gonna start searching through this whole process.
Yeah.
They're searching to make sure that when this house transfers from you to me, that everything is free and clear.
That your cousin J-Bo can't come back and be like, no, my uncle left me part of that house
right.
too.
Right.
And so,
because you don't want to have J-Bo living nowhere in your house.
You don't want J-Bo near you.
And so that's what title is doing. And we have experts that are going to hit us up with a little bit more of that information, right?
Yeah, we'll bring them all back to you so you get a chance to meet them as well. Because we work with those people. We got a team of those people.
And so, but they're digging in the background.
Yes.
All of this is information gathering just to make sure that when all is said and done, man, everything is free and clear. And when you walk away from the table, it is yours. And you can begin to build your own dreams in that new place, right?
Correct. Because it's not just about the inspection looks at the house.
Yeah, right.
But then title is making sure that ownership is being transferred properly.
Yeah, right. That's good, man.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the survey is making sure it's sitting on the right piece of land and it's not built on build lines and utility easements.
You're clear about these boundaries
right. You understand the boundaries and your house is perfectly within them. Your HOA agreements, make sure that if there's supposed to be 2 trees in the front yard, you ain't in violation.
Of those 2 trees.
They might not be good trees. They might not be the trees you like, but they trees.
They trees.
And it better be 2.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the requirement.
That's what the HOA requires.
Yeah, right.
And so, that those are just some of the things that you deal with in the thing. I mean, in the contract.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You also deal with, hey, after this thing is over, after we go ahead and tie the knot, I need a little more assurance that if this AC goes out, that I ain't got to pay for all of it.
Okay. So where is that in the contract?
Well, so that's where you start when you start getting a little money for home warranty.
Okay. All right. So there's another place.
Residential home warranty.
There's another place that we negotiate in that contract.
Correct.
To cover that.
To make sure that yeah, the inspector said it was good.
But just in case, today. But if I close tomorrow,
and
that air conditioner or that refrigerator goes out tomorrow night,
yes,
I'm covered.
Correct.
Because and generally what that is, that's 1 year coverage, right?
They'll give you the first year.
They give you the first year, and then it's up to you as the homeowner, the new homeowner, to decide, yes.
Do I want to keep this coverage?
Do I want to keep this coverage?
Yes.
Right? Because just like any other insurance, you can decide you want to keep it or not.
Yes.
Right? But it's for your benefit if you do keep it, so that these other things that do come up, these pop-ups, these things that you didn't know were going to happen,
yes,
will be covered.
And a lot of them will even cover things that you bring into the house.
Yeah.
So if you bring your refrigerator and your washer and dryer in,
Yep.
they'll cover those.
They'll cover those.
So it doesn't have to just cover what was given to you.
Exactly.
It could be what you brought in too.
Yeah.
Because you might bring some problem stuff into the relationship.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Let's just say nobody's perfect. Everybody will come
that's
through.
That's probably a good thing to say.
Yeah.
That's probably a good way to say.
Even some of those, man, they help you, man, to kind of rekey the house.
Yes.
You know, they'll even, as part of your locking in, that's another transfer that happens.
Yes.
Is the house gets rekeyed.
So does that make sure that the old boyfriends can't come back?
They can't come back.
Oh, okay.
Unless you give them a key.
Oh, well, that's different. That's a different podcast. We're not talking about that. Yeah, we focus on. No, we talking about healthy relationships
healthy
here.
Relationship. Okay,
yeah.
right.
So it's rekeyed.
It's rekeyed.
And your family's the only ones with the key.
And yes. I was going to put the caveat back in there,
but you go. Yeah.
So they have the keys, you have the new keys, and we still work. All of that's negotiated in this process, man. And so some of the other things that you could run into is that now there's the financing piece that is still also working.
That's still
all
working.
Of these things are happening in tandem, right? Because when we sign the contract, there's a date. Boom. There's an executed date.
Yes.
From that executed date, everything has timelines to reach you to that final date, right? Yeah. And so there's a 10-day or 7-day option period, and then there's a 21-day financing period. Correct. And then there's a closing date, and there's all of these other things that happen throughout the process that we have to make sure that we take care of, right?
Yes.
That we're on top of.
But we left out one piece.
What piece?
Now, the previous owner has a responsibility.
Yep. We did leave out a huge piece.
Yeah. They've got a responsibility to tell you what's wrong with their house.
Honesty is the key.
We'll call it disclosure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But honesty is probably preferable.
Yeah, right.
And so they do what is called a seller's disclosure.
Okay.
And in that disclosure, they're supposed to disclose everything that they know about the property.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that's why you have that check with that inspector.
That's why you have, just in case they forgot something.
Yeah,
because they can only tell you what they know, but if they don't know it anymore, like they forgot it.
And there's questions on there that are very specific. Did this house flood?
Right.
Did this house flood
during
Harvey?
What you mean by flood?
You mean
if the water just came up 3 feet, is that
a real flood? Or if I only got an inch in my kitchen?
Right.
Is that a flood?
No, it just messed up the living room. It didn't flood the whole house.
That wasn't a flood.
Yeah, no, it didn't flood the whole house.
All of that is a flood.
It's a flood, If water came in from outside, it flooded. Yeah.
Have you ever had this one I like. Have you ever had a insurance claim on this house?
Yeah.
And if you put yes, then the follow-up question was, did you use the money to fix the problem?
Oh, so you mean somebody could have got insurance money to fix their house, but do something else?
Didn't quite yet. Maybe
Vacation rolled up.
Me and Junebug went up there and we fixed the roof.
Yeah.
And we went to
Well, we used part of it. We used part of the money for the material.
Yeah.
But I had my homeboy do it, and it should be good. It should be good. So that seller's disclosure is critical.
It's critical.
And like you say, there's timelines for, hey, it's got to be here by this time, or there's some ramifications for that.
Yeah, man.
Right.
But this contract really is. I mean, you are going into a marital relationship, right?
Yes.
And it does a good job at really kind of flushing out those things, those questions.
Yes.
And if you have additional questions, then this is where you get them answered, right?
Correct.
This is really where you really lock into it to decide that, yes, I bought the ring. Yes, I'm putting it on, or I put the ring on your finger, right?
Yes.
I'm still making payments.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't own it yet.
I don't fully own it yet, but we do have it in our possession.
Yes.
And we're working exclusively with this person to go ahead and lock this one down, right?
Yes.
Because nobody else, at this point, nobody else can come in after I've gotten past my periods, right?
Yes.
Nobody else can come in and say, hey, I have a better contract.
Well, no. Once you, like you said, once you accept my offer, once you say, yeah, I like you too.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's go forward. We in it.
We in it.
Unless one of us has a contractual reason.
Yeah, right.
To break this thing off.
Yep, because now we're moving into we've locked in those things, and now that financial piece is coming into play because now there's an appraisal that's being offered, right?
Correct.
If you are financing it,
yes,
but with any type of financing, VA, conventional, FHA, USDA, whatever, any kind of financing that is happening through a bank.
Anything but cash.
Anything but cash
Yes.
is going to have an appraisal attached to it.
Yes.
Where they come in and they look at the market value of the house compared to other houses that have sold
Yes.
in the neighborhood, right?
Yes.
And they say, okay, yes, you are offering this amount. The house is actually worth this amount.
Right.
Right?
Correct.
And so if those numbers don't add up, if the number is less than, now we got a negotiation.
Yes.
If it's higher than,
Then
you're good.
You're right.
You're
right.
good, right?
Yes.
Because now you walk into the house with some equity.
And that's what you need, because when they do that appraisal, in a relationship, what you have is people tend to overlook the bad, right?
Yeah.
Because they really like the person and they want it to work.
Yeah, man.
That appraiser, he don't care. He don't care.
He's emotionless.
He don't care at all. So he's gonna look at it with clear eyes.
Yeah, right.
And he's gonna be like, "Yeah, you said it was a diamond. Let me tell you, it's cubic zirconia. It ain't real, bro.
A duck is a duck with appraiser.
That's it. Yeah, you're not getting no swan and no golden goose. It's a duck. Yeah, it's still a duck. Yeah, it's a duck. It's a duck. And so you need all these different parts.
Yeah, man.
Of the contract and the people that play a role in this contract being fulfilled to make sure that you're getting what you desire.
Yeah.
And the funny part is the people that designed the contract wrote it for the benefit of the buyer.
Of the buyer.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
mean, so they're going to make sure that the seller has to disclose everything,
Mm-hmm.
that you got all the time frames, that you can look at the house, and all. I mean, everything is slated to protect the buyer.
Yeah, right. They're advocating for you.
And give you the option to back out when you see something. When you see something's wrong,
Right.
they give you the option to run.
And that's why it's important, man, that you lock into somebody who is going to who understands that,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Who comes in to contribute to that in the same way that the contract is doing, right?
Yes.
Because a bad contract written still wouldn't benefit you if it's written incorrectly, right?
Correct.
And so it's made to benefit you, but you have to make sure you have those experts in place who are really putting the information and time into the craft to make sure that you're taken care of at the end of the day.
Yes.
Right?
That know the rules.
That know the rules.
I mean, maybe there's some rules that can get you out that aren't clearly stated on the contract.
Right.
But if you've done this enough,
Yep.
which we have, we've done it for a while, then you know of other loopholes that if it comes down to it, we might be able to sidestep.
There's one other
an
thing,
issue.
man, that is less about the seller and just more about the buyer, right?
Yes.
Because now we've gone through the appraiser, we've gone through all of those kind of things, and then now we have to make sure that if you're financing this thing, that all of your ducks are in a row.
Yeah.
Right? Because one of the things that happens sometimes is we get overzealous as buyers.
Oh, because you're getting this new house, right?
I'm getting a new house, and
What you need in your new house?
I need some furniture. I need some new appliances because I don't like the ones they have. They have stainless steel. I want black stainless steel.
There you go. There
right?
you go.
And I don't want to move in with that like that.
And my couch is all beat up at home.
Exactly.
So I can't move that in.
I can't move that in.
Yeah.
So I decide that I need to go buy some furniture. And I'm going to open up that new credit account at the furniture company because I'm getting this house. So and we gonna move in, and I want to move in with my stuff. I want it to come the same day we close. Yes. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get this financial stuff done.
Can you say tripped on the hurdle?
You face planted on the hurdle.
Yeah, because as part of your qualification, the lender's gonna check your credit. Now we mentioned credit before,
right?
And there was a credit score required to
start the process. To get approved.
But a lot of people don't realize, and they don't have the right guidance.
Yeah, right.
To let them know, hey, just because you were approved this day,
right,
doesn't mean you can't do something to disqualify yourself.
Yeah. Man, you still got to pay. Okay, you in another house, you still got to pay that mortgage on time. You still got to pay that car note on time. You still need to keep these credit cards down at where they were or lower.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Because all of those things are still reporting while we're going through the process. And what they approved you on needs to be at that place or better. Right?
Yes. Because on the day of closing, they're going to run your credit again.
They're going to run it again. Yep.
And lo and behold, that what's the furniture store? I can't think of no furniture store. That Ashley building came in.
Right. Yeah.
And you ain't paid it, and now that credit score done just plummeted.
It show where they hit your credit hard knock on the credit. Your credit dropped 10 points right before closing.
And that may be the difference.
And you watching that house. And you've made investments, right, at this point, because you paid for the appraisal, you paid for the option fee, you paid for the surveys, you paid for the inspection.
Yep.
All of these and your earnest money,
is
that
on the
bigger
line
deposit is now on the line.
Yes.
Because if you're past your time period that says I need to be approved by this time, the seller can say, you wasted my time.
And for my time,
I want this option money. This earnest money.
Yeah, that's going to be my liquidated damages.
Man, those are some hurdles that are hard to get up from. You scarred off that.
Yeah. Them permanent scars there. Yeah. You talking about not running hurdles again.
I'm done.
You be like, nah, I ain't never running hurdles. Yeah.
So we're talking about the hurdles, right? But it's important for you to know, no, don't go buy the car. If you didn't buy the car before you started the process, let that car wait.
If you were not approved for the car by the time you were approved for this loan, now's not the time to get it.
Now's not the time to do it. You need to Turo or Uber or something until we can get through this process, right? Because, all of those kind of things are going to shift up how the initial approval looks, right?
Correct.
Because you're going to take on additional debt and all of those kind of things, and your credit is going to be hit. And so we got to make sure, man, that we are definitely doing what we need to do to stay clear of some of these hurdles throughout the process.
Correct. And with the right team in place, the right relationship with your realtor, we can keep you abreast of all these things, all these hurdles, all these pitfalls, all these gotchas along the way that might either disqualify the house or disqualify you.
From getting the house. Because, there's points in this process, man, where, we're talking, right? Because we built a relationship, and we're talking, and we just casually talking. You're like, I'm going to look at some furniture. Whoa, before you do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And those things are triggers for us because we already know what those things can cause in the process, right?
Correct.
So it's making sure that, we continually build that relationship because we can have that conversation before it even becomes an issue.
And because we have a close enough bond built in our relationship, there's no hesitation for us telling you, right?
Exactly.
Because if some agents would be like, well, I don't want to upset them.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
well, I think they'll be more upset if they can't get this house in
And now
15 more days.
And now they bought all this furniture.
And now they got all this furniture that they got to put somewhere
in storage or wherever it's gonna go, right?
For a little while because they got to recover that credit day. So it's a tricky process. There are hurdles that you have to overcome as you embark in that relationship.
Yeah, right.
But a healthy relationship will help you to overcome those hurdles.
Yeah, man.
So
it's gonna get you to the wedding day, right? Everything,
that's right.
All of the money and all of the time and effort you put into this whole marital relationship, right? This dating relationship was to end in this final marriage, right?
Correct.
This marriage of signing on that dotted line, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that ring now is on there, right? It's solidified.
Yes.
And you getting to that closing table, that's a completely different experience, man. We've had people cry at the closing table.
It's life changing because for a lot of people, it's the first home. It's something they never thought they could achieve. It's generational change. There's so much that goes into buying a home that it can be very emotional.
Yeah, right.
And so, and it can also be very heartbreaking if you on the other side of one of them hurdles.
If you were,
it can be very emotional.
If you got a runaway bride.
Yeah, it could definitely
be a problem.
It could definitely be a problem.
Yeah.
So those are just some of the pitfalls that you could run into.
You could run into,
but
right?
Luckily, you've got a team here that's here to make sure that you are not facing those hurdles. That you're successfully
yeah, get it.
Navigating. There you go. Right, navigating the hurdles.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because we just at the end of the day we want to cross them all. We don't want to trip on any of them, you know. And so if we see them coming, if we know that hurdle right there always trips us up, or we know that one, you know, some homeowners have issues with that one, then we want to make sure we are practicing to make sure that we hit that hurdle.
Three steps, then 3 steps kick. 3 steps kick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to practice that to make sure that we are coaching through this process exactly like it needs to, because, you know, we want to enjoy the reception too. You know, we want to be at the reception.
That's it. And we told you we want to be invited to the barbecue.
Exactly.
We don't want to go to the apartment to meet for the barbecue. We're trying to be at the new house.
Exactly.
Because that's the memory we've all built together. And so
yeah, man. That's us jumping the hurdles of this real estate game,
of this relationship,
man. And so yeah, man, we got you. I mean, if you have any questions, hit us up in the comments, man. We would definitely like to, you know, to hear what you have to say.
And we'll answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, of course.
Respond if it's something that you think went wrong before, that you think you need some guidance on. Hey, we're here.
We're definitely here, and we'd love to help you out. So we'll see you next time on Real Intentions.
Real Intentions.